SamBennett.com. We just started broadcasting to all the places, so I'm glad if you are there watching. Hello and welcome. We're waiting for the people who'd registered to come to this because I had a little glitch with my link. That happens sometimes. So let's start with our breathing. Let's start just focusing in on the present moment. Yeah, I know, Joelle, we had an issue with the email. Like, it was entirely my fault. I got my wires crossed. So I'm going to sort of vamp for a minute or two while we get everybody else on here. But I want you to be thinking about, why would you need an email list? Why would you want one? What would you have if you had an email list? And go ahead and type your response into the comments, or or just make a note for yourself, because it doesn't matter if I know, but it matters that you know. So yeah, why do you need an email list? Why bother? Why bother to build one? Why bother to maintain one? Why bother to start one if you don't have one already? Did I send you the share with viewers? Okay. This is the link. Yeah, people are joining on the, oh shoot, I sent the wrong link. I said it again, twice now. Twice I've sent the wrong link. This is how not to use email, everybody. Oh shoot. Okay. So here's a different link. I'm gonna see if I can go edit this. Oh no, that's the same one. It says share with viewers. But I don't know why you guys are all coming in as co-hosts.
Stand by, Sam. I'm going to try to fix this.
Okay, thanks, V. Sorry. Sorry, everybody. I managed to screw things up and then screw up the fixing of the screwing up. So, yeah, that's weird. But just hang tight. We're going to start, officially in a minute. Yes, people are trying to enter, but the studio is full. Yeah, so y'all check your emails right now, because we're going to start this over.
I will be sending out a corrected link, so keep an eye on your email for something with the subject line that says corrected link. Stand by.
2 correcteds. Oh, I'm so sorry, you all. What a drag. This is completely my fault. Yeah, so Shirley, if you could take yourself out of this. Joyce, Cherie, Karina, Janet, take yourself out of this and then go to the corrected link. Gail, Fran, Terry, Janet. Yeah, take your exit out of this one and then check your email for an email that says corrected link and go to that one, and then we'll all be in the same place at the same time. Yeah, Terry J, Joyce, Fran, Gail. Yeah, Katie, if you would take yourself out of this, the link you're in right now, because you're backstage right now, and go to your email, there should be an email that says corrected link, and that's the proper one. That will get you into the actual place where we all are. Good, got it. Thank you. Excellent. Okay. Yeah, Mel, if you could undo your, take yourself out of the webinar that you're in, and then just look in your email for corrected link. You might need to refresh your email for that. But now we'll do it properly. And Veronica, maybe if you could put the corrected link in the chat on the Facebook too. I don't know. Let me take this out because I'm not sure that that's the correct link after all, and I clearly am not a reliable source. Okay. Oh, you guys, I could explain how this worked, but why this didn't work, but there's no point. Yes, so Gail, Fran,
live radio, everybody.
Exactly. Welcome to the big show. Sherry, Mel, Joyce, Fran, and Gail, and Terry and Karina. If you guys could unselect from where you get yourself out of the backstage where you are, and then go to, oh, that is it. Okay. And then go to the corrected link that's either in the comments or in your email as corrected link. There will be a replay soon. I understand not everybody can hang on, especially since I'm starting late because I screwed up all the links. So yeah, June, if you could undo yourself, take you guys are backstage now. So if you want to, and so if you can click out of where you are and go to the link that is either in the comments there, the MVYJWJT one, or it should be in your email as corrected link. I'm just going to keep saying this until everybody gets in the right place at the right time. Thank you all for being so patient. I hope you're doodling something fun. Good. Yeah, Dr. Diane, Wendy, Shirley, Terry, Sherry, Mel, Joyce, Gail, if you guys could, the link in the comments isn't working. That's weird. Didn't get the new link. Well, now what? Archie, can you fix this? Gail, refresh your emails, see if it came in that way. But yeah, share with viewers. That should be it. Yeah, that should be it. So there's somebody on Facebook who says, what's the problem? Yeah, so the problem is I set up a StreamYard and then had it in the emails, and then I got confused and I deleted that StreamYard. And then, so then we were fast at the last minute making up a new one. And then I sent out the wrong link to everybody as though they were co-presenters, and there's only room for 12 people in the co-presenters, which is why I was asking Joyce and Terry and Shirley and Wendy and Dr. Diane and June and Sarah to click out of, because they're in the co-presenters room instead of just in the regular room. That's why it's happening. So, okay, pasted the link in a new browser. That worked. Way to go, Gail. Okay. Oh my word, y'all. Okay. Let's, and you can certainly, yes, you can absolutely stay on Facebook. No problem. All right, now we can definitely use some breathing. Yes. All right, let your belly go really poochy soft. And let's inhale, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Thank you. Thank you for doing this. Yes, you, Fran, Sherry, Gail, you are in the right spot. Thank you. If those of you who are in the backstage part, like Dr. Diane, Mahalia, Dee, Julie, June, Cherie, Sarah, Wendy, and Terry J, if you guys could click out of the backstage area and click this link that you see here on the lower third, streamyard.com/watch/ it starts MVYWJT. Click on that link and that'll get you into the place where you can chat and see all the things. You understand what I'm saying? Good. Okay. Hi, let's talk emails, everybody. Let's talk emails. Tell me, so my question for you to start out was, why do you need an email list? Why would you want one? Why would you have one? What would you have if you had an email list? What would having an email list do for you? What would you use it for? Maybe you have a business, maybe you have some art you'd like to sell, maybe you're a writer and you'd like to build a platform so you could get traditionally published, to reach clients, send newsletters. Good. Lots of people will sell things through email. Maybe you'd like to make some money. Maybe you'd like to do some affiliate emailing. And yeah. So we still have a bunch of people who are in this backstage area. So Terry J, Dr. Diane, Mahalia, D, Julie, Amy, Teresa, and Mel, if you guys could click out of where you are and click into the new StreamYard link that's here below, or that also should have come in your email. Can't copy the new link. You can't copy it from the comments here, because it should. Wendy's in the right place. Awesome. Thank you. Okay. Well, some of you are moving along. Okay. All right. Well, a few of you can stay there. It's just everybody else who tries to get in then can't get in. That's the problem with you guys staying there. So Wendy says she typed it into the browser and it worked. Okay. Well, maybe try that. Here's the thing. Email. I sent this in the email that I sent to you guys earlier. Oh, here, wait. Now I'm getting some. It says it doesn't show up in the comments, and where it shows on the lower part of the screen is not clickable. Didn't get corrected. To refresh your email, because corrected should have come through. Yeah, select and copy as base, or take a screenshot, or just type it. Yeah. Just type it into a new browser window. That will work. I'm sorry, you guys. This is such a welcome to the world, right? Welcome to the world. And this is broadcasting live on LinkedIn and Facebook. So hi, everybody. How's it going? Thanks for spending 15 minutes with us trying to sort out the technology here. Here's the thing. Let me just going to dive into this. The email, you want an email list. Let me just tell you that. I don't care what you're doing. I don't care who you are. I don't care at what stage of business you're in, or if you even have a business. You are a creative person with a message, and you have things to share. You have events that you want to invite people to. You're involved in your community, and so whether it's to stay in touch with just friends and family, or your spiritual community, or your neighborhood, having an email list gives you some leverage and some ways to communicate with people who are into what you're into in a way that's really fast and easy, and incredibly cheap. So whether it's, organizing yard sales, or getting people to come to the holiday event at your, community center, or your church, or your synagogue, or your wherever, or you're offering free yoga classes in your backyard, or you are giving out advice on how to have a beautiful garden. Whatever it is, email is an incredible way for you to be sharing your wisdom, your insights, and your offerings with people, because there's no reason why you shouldn't be making money off some of this stuff, right? So generally, industry-wide, email generates $36 to $40 return on investment for every dollar spent. So for every dollar people spend on email marketing, marketers spend on email marketing, they can expect to get $36 to $40 back. There's nothing else that has that kind of ROI. ROI is return on investment. The other way to think of it, the other number you'll see sometimes, is that you should be able to make at least $1 per month per subscriber. So if you have a list of 100 people, you should be able to make $100 a month. If you have a list of 1,000 people, you should be able to have $1,000 a month, make $1,000 a month. You have a list of 10,000 people, you should be able to make $10,000 a month. And in my experience, that holds pretty true. And I don't know any of us who would sneeze in an extra $500 a month. And creating a list of 500 people is easy. Easy. Okay. The other reason that you want an email list is because email is huge and growing. 4 billion users currently, projected to be 4.6 billion by next year, by 2025. I mean, that's this kind of growth. Still, right? You'd think, doesn't everybody already have an email address? They do. Most people have more than one, and most people check it several times a day, right? Here's the real reason that you want an email list, so that you own it. You want to own the list, okay? That means, let me hide that comment. Yeah, you want to own the list. So, for example, let's say I've got a Facebook group, and maybe there's 10,000 people in the Facebook group, and I think I don't need an email list, I got a Facebook group, but then Facebook goes down, which has happened before. It happened just a week or so ago, and it will happen again. And someday, Facebook will fall out of favor, and people will stop using it. Also, you have people in your Facebook group, but can you reach them? Can you tell them things? Can you communicate with them? Facebook doesn't let you message everybody in your group. The people in your group have to be actually checking that group in order to get any of your messages. But let's say you've got a TikTok. Oh my gosh, I got a TikTok. Oh my gosh, I love, people love me on TikTok. I've got a zillion followers. Well, that's great. Again, until TikTok goes down, or the government decides to shut it down, or you say something that falls off of trend, or that, you start to get attacked for, and all of a sudden you're in this public forum. Email's a very private forum. Okay. So you want to own the same thing. I kind of don't get, people are all like, oh, I'm going to start a Substack. That's an email list, except you're letting Substack own that list. You own the list. You want to charge for your newsletter? Absolutely. But you charge for it. Why give Substack part of the deal? Right? You can own 100% of that list and keep 100% of that money. Right? Good. So good, Dee. I'm glad you got in. Great, thank you. So the number one reason to have an email list is so that you own it. So that no matter what trend, what social media platforms go in and out of favor, no matter what technology goes down or doesn't go down, email is old-fashioned, it's reliable, it's not going anywhere. And again, you can make, in theory, more, at least, and possibly more, $1 per subscriber per month. So get 1,000 subscribers, get an extra $1,000 a month. The other reason you want an email list, number one, is so that you own it. Number two is it's a much deeper connection, right? People always tell me like, oh, I've got a zillion podcast listeners. Well, terrific, great, delighted to hear it. But have you ever tried to make a podcast subscriber do anything? Even I am a very responsive listener, right? I've got a couple of podcasts that I listen to all the time and I love it. And every single time they say something like, hey, we're doing a fundraiser for blah, 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 or hey, join our list and get this special thing. And I'm in the car and I'm listening, or I'm out for a walk and I'm listening and I'm like, yes, I'm totally going to do that. 100% I'm going to do that. You bet. And then I never, ever do. It's a very distant connection. It's like listening to the radio, right? We don't, even if we feel involved in it, it's like over there, kind of. Same thing, TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, we watch it like we watch a magazine or like we watch a TV show. Email is personal. It's a much deeper connection. And it is 100% controlled by the subscriber. It's the only marketing I know that is 100% controlled by the subscriber. Right? I can't control what ads are on the podcasts I listen to. I can't control what pop-ups show up as I'm cruising the web. I mean, anyway, sometimes they cookie you and the ads will follow you around. That's what I'm thinking of. Like, I sort of control it by what I click on, but not really. But in an email, the subscriber opts in, right? They make the choice to say, yes, I would like to be on your list. And then they decide when they're going to look at their emails, when they're going to open them, and then what they do with them. If they write you back, if they click, if they forward, if they save, if they mark it as spam, if they unsubscribe, it's entirely up to them. So all this like, oh, I don't want to bother people. I don't want to send people too many emails because I don't want to bother them. You can't. You literally can't. They're 100% in control of the process. Right? And you are writing to them one-on-one. Right? And I cannot tell you, it's a little bit of a writing challenge. Like, you need to learn how to do it properly. But I've been doing this since 2009, and I still get emails all the time with people writing me back saying, I know you sent this to thousands of people, and I feel like it was just for me. And that's how it should feel. It should feel like it's just for you. Right? And even, which doesn't mean it needs to be super intimate or personal. I mean, Nordstrom sends me emails probably 3 times a day. And they're always like, we think you would like this. And I'm like, oh, really? Oh, I do. A linen tunic. Why, yes, I do. An oversized men's shirt. I do like that. Thank you very much. Right? So it doesn't have to be like super touchy-feely for you to build intimacy and trust with your people. Right? Okay. The other reason you want to build an email list is because most email is super crappy, and you have the opportunity to make it super awesome. Like, you don't have to be very good to be a way better email provider than other people, right? So this is why you want an email list. And the whole reason we're talking about this, by the way, is because I'm doing a training on August 13th called the Bunny Slope. Cutest name for a course ever. It's all day. And we are going to collectively together, hands-on, build your email funnel. We're going to create your list. We're going to create your freebie. I'll tell you how this works in a minute. We're going to write your first 5 emails by Saturday at 5:30 p.m. Eastern time on April 13th. You will have your initial email sequence done and complete. So you can see more about that at therealsambennett.com/bunny slope. Yep, Veronica just put it in there. Bunny slope is all one word. Oh, there's an E on bunny slope. Not bunny slop. Bunny slop is weird. Bunny slope. There it is. therealsambennett.com/bunny slope. I will tell you guys, I got in so much trouble for this. I'm in a mastermind, and I told them I was offering this. Because I'm giving it to the Get It Done Lab people. So those of you who are in Lab, Cohort 7, don't buy it because you already get it for free. It's included in this cohort of Lab. But for everybody else, the people in my mastermind were like, well, you're charging $2,000 for it, right, Sam? And I'm like, oh, no. And they're like, okay, yeah, $1,997. Okay, minimum $1,497. And I'm like, it's like $500. And they made me swear that I would never offer it at this price again. And I see their point, because it is a really, really valuable course. I mean, it's not just theory. We're actually going to do it together. So, but go check it out. And if it feels like something that you might be worthwhile for you, please hop in. And again, satisfaction guaranteed, or your tuition cheerfully refunded within 7 days of the event. Okay. All right. So let's talk about, it is in April, Ethel. It's April 13th. Did I say March? I'm sorry. I just misspoke. Yeah. April 13th is the, now I have to look. Not April 6th. Yes, April 13th. It starts at 9 Pacific, 12 Eastern, and we'll go in like 3 90-minute sections and have a little break in between. So yeah, April 13th. All right. So let's talk about how to build a list. Okay. Ready? The first thing you need to know always is whom who are you trying to attract? Who is the person you want to be sending these emails to? And don't say everyone, because that's not the right answer, right? In fact, the more specific you can be, the better. So let's say I wanted to attract, women who wanted to do yoga in my backyard, right? So that's what I'm thinking about. I'm thinking about women and I'm thinking about yoga. I'm not thinking about men. I'm not thinking about Pilates. Okay. So go ahead and make a note for yourself right now. Who are you trying to attract? I'm trying to attract art lovers. I'm trying to attract highly creative people who want to write a book. I want to attract, people who are interested in deepening their meditation practice. I want to attract people who love ceramics. Whatever, right? People of Scottish descent who are interested in their genealogy. I don't know what you're into, whatever your thing is, right? So who are those people? And just write down one or two psychographics or demographics, people who have high anxiety and full-time jobs, right? But let's just go back to the women in yoga thing. So who are you trying to attract? What problem do they think they have? And this is so important because you are probably thinking about the problem you know they have, but that's not where they're at. They're thinking about the problem they think they have. Right? So you may know as a yoga teacher that the problem is their psoas or something. But they're waking up in the morning going, oh, I'm so stressed out and my hamstrings are so tight. They think their problem is stress and tight hamstrings. So that's what you have to talk to them about. You can't start talking psoas until you get them in the door because they're not going to understand what you're saying, right? So what is it? I always think about, what is the result that they're trying to get? What's the problem they're trying to solve? What's the result they're trying to get? I always think about, there was a sign on the L platform in Chicago when I was growing up. I would, take the train everywhere. And it said, lose 30 pounds in 30 days, which is, of course, ridiculous and bullshit, but super effective. And notice it didn't say anything about changing your eating habits or taking a pill or using kettlebells or working out. No, just the result. Lose 30 pounds in 30 days. And then a phone number to call. Good. So who are you trying to attract? What problem did they think they have? And we have a whole worksheet for this in Bunny Slope. We're going to go deep into it so you really specifically know the answers to these questions, but I'm kind of generalizing for the sake of time and the group. And then what freebie can you offer them that's going to make them feel like, oh, yeah, oh, I want that. Oh, I need that. Oh, that's delicious. That sounds great to me. I would love that, right? What's going to make them raise their hand and say, yeah, I'll trade you my email address for that freebie. That's awesome. So maybe it's the ultimate chocolate chip cookie recipe, or maybe it's a little printable PDF with hamstring stretches, or maybe it's a free webinar like this one, or maybe it's an ebook, or maybe it's a white paper, or maybe it's a graphic, or maybe it's I don't know. What is something that they would like? What is something they would like? What is something you would have liked when you were in their shoes? Right? And then what happens next? Right? So this is all, and some of you may have heard of this before. This is what we call a funnel, an email funnel. We call it a funnel because it looks like this. This is my slides. This is how high-tech I am. This is my slide. So because it's shaped like a funnel. So we start with the freebie, right? And we attract people from wherever, right? Instagram, from a live event, from a partner email. Maybe I get a friend to email for me, right? To send to their list. Right? And they say, do you want this freebie? Do you want to come to this free workshop? Do you want to get this free chocolate chip cookie recipe? And they say yes, right? So now they've opted in and they get your freebie, and maybe they see, and maybe the cookie thing says, oh, we want to, you can get a whole book of cookie recipes for $4, right? So now they've seen an offer. that's related to the freebie, freebie that's related to the thing they say they want. And then they click on the offer, and then some of them buy. Now, you'll see it's a funnel because it's smaller and smaller amounts of people, right? Everybody gets the freebie. Not everybody will click on the offer. Not everybody will buy, but some of them will. And that's how we turn people we don't know into customers who love and adore us. The other way to think of it is this way, right? And here's why we're going to do all this together, because you can see it's not hard, but you want to do it step by step with somebody who knows what they're doing, basically, right? So we create the freebie, and we're going to do that. Like I said, we're going to do that together. We're going to figure out what your freebie is, and we're going to create it in Canva together in real time. Okay. So you're going to figure out who you're talking to, what their problem is, what the freebie is that's going to entice them to join your list. They're going to give you their name and email. That means you have a form, right, where they can do that. Then you send them the freebie, right, the recipe, the PDF, the thing, the link to the webinar. And then maybe you send them a couple of more emails, and then there's one that says the offer. Like, by the way, if you enjoy this, you should sign up for Sam's Bunny Slope. If you enjoyed this, you should get this, collection of recipes. You should come to the yoga class. You should all the things, right? And some people are going to say yes. They're going to give you money, and they're going to say yes. And then you're going to want to start sending them things about like, yay, you bought the thing. Here's the information, and join the group. And yes, yay. We don't want to keep marketing to them because they've already said yes, right? So we need a system, an email marketing system that can track how many people come in, how many people see this offer, how many people give you their name and email to get it. That's called conversion, right? They go from, oh, I saw that thing that I could get the freebie, and some percentage of people said, yes, I will give you my name and email in exchange for that freebie. And then how many people opened the email? How many of them clicked on the freebie to get it? We want to know that too. That's another conversion. Then we want to know how many people take you up on the offer and how many people don't. If they don't take you up on the offer, well, we want to keep emailing them, right? They're still friends. They may just not want that one thing. So maybe we offer them something else, or maybe we just keep nurturing them and keeping them warm, right? But you can't do, you can do all this manually, but why? There's so many systems that will do it better than you can and for free. And this is one of the other ways why people feel like they're hearing from me personally, is because of this automation. And I know that's weird, that automation, something that sounds really robotic and cold, actually leads to a more human and a more personalized experience. Because with automation, the system knows automatically what you have done, right? And can follow up with you accordingly. Like if you bought the offer and then I kept sending you things about the offer, you'd be like, hi, I already bought that. Why don't you know that? Why are you still sending me things about this thing? Right? That would feel weird. However, if you haven't bought it, for me to be able to say, hey, I noticed you didn't get that thing. That's cool. Did you want this other thing? Or some other thing? Or this thing, or that thing, or this thing, or that thing. We can make offers all day long. And I will tell you, I think I still have some people in this sequence. I had a sequence called 365 Reasons to Create. People get an email every single day. And until we had all the kinks ironed out of the system, I would get emails from people saying, hey, where's number 217? I got 216, I got 218, where was 217? I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry, right? They felt personally neglected. I would also often hear from people saying, oh my gosh, I can't believe you sent this one to me today. And I'm like, I know. The email angels were at work. Now, of course, it wasn't me. It was the automated system doing that. People opted in. It sent them day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4, day 5. It just kept going forever. And people would often re-opt into it at the end of the year. I would say, do you want to get these again? And they go, yeah. So you have some amazing opportunities to build relationships with people and sell them things that will improve their lives, right? So in one day during the bunny slope, cutest name ever, we are going to create your funnel. We're going to figure out who your audience is, how you want to talk to them, what problem you're solving. We're going to create that freebie in person, in real time, in Canva. It's not something you're going to do later. You're going to do it on Saturday, the 13th, of April. We're going to create your opt-in form. We're going to create whatever tags and tracking, and we're going to write your first 5 emails so that when people opt into your list, they are followed up with appropriately. You can know that they're going to get emails in the right cadence, right? And then after those first 5, you can just email the whole list once a week or twice a week or every day, however often you feel like it. Not however often you feel like it, but at least once a week. And grow from there. I'm telling you, it's the only reason I got my book deal, because I was a nobody, an absolute nobody, but I had a list of, 5,000 people. And then for the second book, I got them to double my advance because then my email list had doubled. Then my list was 10,000 people. And I was like, I think you can give me more money. And they agreed, right? And so as much stuff as I do in the outside stuff, all, my million LinkedIn learners and all my TikTok followers and my Instagram and Twitter and all the places, all I'm ever trying to do is either just build brand awareness and have people go like, oh yeah, her, or what I'm really trying to do is get them to join my email list. Because once they're on my list, what is it? I own them, right? So I don't have to worry about if they suddenly, change jobs and don't have access to LinkedIn anymore. I still want them to hear from me. If the government decides to shut down TikTok, I still want them to hear from me, right? People get bored with Facebook. I still want them to hear from me. And if they're on my email list, I can guarantee that. And I can watch them. I can watch their behavior. Another example of this is, you'll probably see me do this. So after this webinar, this one right here, after we edit out all the kerfuffle at the top, we had some technical issues, no big deal. I'll send out an email that says, hey, you can check out the replay here. And I'll be able to see who clicks and then who purchases. And again, if they purchase Bunny Slope, I don't want to be saying like, hey, did you see the replay? Because they've already bought the thing. So I want to be saying, yay, you bought the thing. I'm so excited. We're going to have such a good time. Here's all the information. And if they click, maybe they click over onto Bunny Slope, but they don't buy. Well, I want to follow up with them right away, right? Because they're at least a little bit interested. And I want to say, hey, are you sure? Because I'd love to have you. And, maybe I didn't mention this cool benefit or this interesting thing we're doing. Right? And I can set it up to do that automatically. So I'm not pestering people who don't click, if people don't open and they don't click, then they're not that interested. I'm not going to bug them that much. I might send an announcement or 2, but that's it. People who click and buy, I want to say, yay, yay, yay. People who click but don't buy, I want to encourage them a little bit. And it is not hard to set up these systems, but it does need doing, right? So you have to go to therealsambennett.com/bunny slope, BUNNYSLOPE, Bunny Slope. It's where you learn to ski the easy way with the kids. And then you'll have all this set up and ready to go. You can start making money right away. You can start making money on the 13th. I am going to demonstrate for you how to use AI a little tiny bit and in a totally ethical and fun way. I know some of you are like, what is it? It sounds like the enemy of creativity. It's just a tool. Remember how when we all got calculators and they thought none of us would ever learn math because we had calculators? Well, guess what? People still learn math. Not me. I did not learn math, but other people. Same thing with AI. It's just a tool. And once you see how it works, you're going to go, oh, that is a cool tool, right? So we're going to use some AI. We're going to use Canva. Some of you already are familiar with Canva. It's a free tool. It's amazing. And we're going to, Here's the other reason why you may want to do Bunny Slope. I don't know if you all have heard about this. Google and Yahoo have made a policy that they will no longer deliver mass broadcast emails from an individual's email address. So if I wanted to send out an email to my list from samanthабennett@gmail.com, Google would not deliver that email. So it would not go to any Gmail addresses. Yahoo would not deliver that email. It has to be from an email tied to a website. So it has to be sam@therealsambennett.com or veronica@therealsambennett.com or support@therealsambennett.com. You have to have an email address that is tied to a website, and it has to be verified. It's your DKIM. I don't want to get into it. Anyway, it's one of the things we'll talk about. It's a little technical, but it's not that hard. But you should know and understand that if you are still using a personal address, like an AOL address or Earthlink or Roadrunner or Gmail or whatever, to email more than a few people, your emails are not going to get through. So you have to professionalize your email address. It comes with your website. And you really want to be using an email service provider like ConvertKit, or I use Keep, or Unchport, or even, I don't advise MailChimp, but even MailChimp. You need something to manage the emails that you're sending and getting some reports so that you're not doing everything by hand. Okay. I also promised that I would tell you how I succeeded. So yeah, we're going to give you easy to follow instructions to get your domain name, your website address, to talk to your CRM, which is your customer relationship management. That's your email system, and make sure that your emails are getting delivered. Yeah, exactly. Thank you, Veronica. Thanks for putting that up. Yeah, so creating your freebie, done. Creating your first funnel, done. First 5 emails, done. Pretty good deal, right? And again, my mastermind group is going to string me up. They're going to hoist me by my own petard if I ever offer it at this low price again. So I'm afraid of them. So please know that the next time I offer Bunny Slope, if I do offer it again, it'll be at least $1,500. But now it's not nearly that much. I think it's under $500. So therealsambennett.com/Bunny Slope, BUNNYSLOPE. Isn't this the sweetest mug? I love this artwork. Okay. Any questions? What's bubbling up for you? What's happening? Where's your head? Where's your head at? You all are being suspiciously quiet. Tell me what's going on. You into it? You feeling it? Are your circles going? And don't worry if you feel a little confused by some of the things I'm saying. This is why we're spending all day on the 13th walking you through step by step exactly how to create a freebie that's going to be really compelling, use it to get people to opt into your list, and then follow up with them in a way that's meaningful. So that you're not being spammy or weird or salesy, but rather a welcome friend. Right? You know the emails that hit your inbox that you're like, oh, that one. Oh, I like that one. I love hearing from that person or from that business or from those people. Yeah. You can be that person. You can be the welcome guest. Which CRM are you covering? I think well, let me put it this way. I don't want to promise something I can't deliver. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to try a whole new email service, one I've never tried before, open an account and do it with you live and see if I can figure it out live on camera with you all. Because I want to make sure that it's simple enough to use. Because I use Keep and I recommend Keep, but it is complicated. It is a lot of firepower and more probably than you need. So I think that's what I'm going to do is I'm going to try, but all the CRMs work essentially the same way. They have different formats. You just want to pick the one that works for you, or the one you already have. So I'm not sure which one I'm using yet. I'm still deciding. but I think I'm going to try and do it with no prep, which could be completely ridiculous. But then we'll know. I mean, if they have an impossible to understand system, then we'll all find that out together. If their system's pretty easy to use, then we'll find that out together. I just figured out why years of email marketing did nothing to grow my list. I don't have an email tied to a website. Well, that's part of it. That's part of it. But you also have to, you don't just want to grow the list from the list, right? You need to do the outside things to get people into the list. So you always need to be doing outreach and offering new freebies and new offers so new people join the list. The only other way to really grow your list from inside your list is to have like an invite a friend sort of a thing, which can be a little tricky to do with automation. But you definitely want to have an email that's tied to a website. Mahalia says, this is great. Thank you so much. Diane says, I've done all these things and I'm not getting any traction. Are my freebies not compelling? Is my copy off the mark? I don't know. Well, yeah. I mean, this is the beautiful thing about internet marketing is on the internet, no one can hear you scream. No one will notice. No one knows that the things you have offered before this haven't really worked that well. Or maybe they have. I'd be interested to know what your actual conversion numbers are. But yeah, your freebie just may not be compelling enough. Your language may not be compelling enough. You may not be getting it in front of the right people. One of these things is probably disconnected, and we can take a look at it and figure it out together. That's exactly what Bunny Slope is all about, right? I'm interested in creating lists to find a new position. That's amazing. I love that. That's a great use of an email list. And in fact, once you find a new position, you can help other people find a new position, right? You can be the leader in your field. I mean, I'm just making things up. Let's say that D is a tax professional, right? So she has a job working for a tax professional, but she'd like to find a new job. She can start putting out a weekly tax tips from D that has a funny tax joke at the beginning and then a thing about taxes that most people don't understand. And she can start doing that every week and be your friendly local tax person. And not only does it position her well to be able to go to, if she wants to work for somebody else, to say, hey, I have this list of, 100 people or 200 people or 10,000 people or 100,000 people who get my tax tips every week. Wouldn't you want me working for you? Or she can start her own business, be her own professional, right? Once she's got a list of a certain size, she can write a book with her, that's a collection of her tax tips. She can start making appearances on morning television. She could have her own podcast, right? You can grow your own, for lack of a better word, celebrity, sharing the information and wisdom that you have that other people want to know, right? Melly says, I do have questions, but that's me overthinking. Oh, for Pete's sake, of course you are. That's welcome to the club. Raise your hand if you're an overthinker. Professional Overthinkers Anonymous. Absolutely. MailChimp, yeah, MailChimp is free and it is used a lot by spammers. And I find their system kind of clunky, but it's a fine place to start. If you want to start with MailChimp, start with MailChimp. I'm more of a start at the top kind of person. Like I buy Hondas and Subarus, and I bought Infusionsoft Keep right away because I knew that that's where my business was going. But it's a personal decision. MailChimp is fine. It's fine. He says, I also want a list to connect to women. Yeah. What are your thoughts on MailChimp? Yeah. That's my thoughts on MailChimp. I mean, it's better than nothing. It's not much better than nothing, but it's a little bit better than nothing. You'll get more out of a system that you invest in. Because MailChimp isn't as cheap as it looks. The minute your list starts to grow, they start charging you, and it's not inexpensive at all. And then moving systems can be kind of a pain in the ass. But if that's what feels best to you, then, and you know it or you like it, then use it. Whatever you use is really the most important thing. Yes, I'll be in Bunny Slope. Yay! He says, exactly. I love that. Thank you. I work in media. Yeah. So yeah, just writing thoughts every week about women in media, I think is fantastic. You could absolutely do that. Bronick says ConvertKit has a free tier and their paid services are much easier to use than that of MailChimp. So there you go. ConvertKit is a good one. All right. So I promised I would tell you how I succeeded. Here's my little success story. So go to therealsambennett.com/Bunny Slope, BUNNYSLOPE, all one word, Bunny Slope. And join me on April 13th, where we will create your freebie, we'll create your list, we'll create your first 5 emails. You will walk out of there. You can take yourself out to dinner Saturday night because you will be done-zo, right? Okay. So I started my business full time. I started teaching the Get It Done workshop in like 2000 or 2001. Are there places to get a free domain name? I don't think so. I think you have to register a domain name, but it's usually like $15 a year. Oh, look, there's Veronica saying you must pay to register a domain name, but they're like $15 a year. I use Hover, HOVER.com. I think Seth Godin recommended it one time. That's where I register all my domains. Yeah. And you'll start to know when you get to know more internet marketers and more email marketers, because all we do is buy domains. Like we have an idea for a project or a book or something, and we immediately buy the domain name. And then every year, so I've got like 15 domain names that I'm not using. I'm like, oh, that's such a good name. Oh, that's such a good name. So yeah, you do need to buy your own domain. Okay, so I started teaching in like 2000, the Get It Done material in like 2000, 2001. It was just one of a lot of things I was doing up until about the beginning of 2009, when I started trying to do this full time, knowing nothing about business or entrepreneurship or marketing or email or anything really. I built my own website on iWeb. Some of you old Apple users might remember iWeb. And it annoyed me that every time I was offering the Get It Done workshop, which at the time I was still doing in person, in a church basement in Van Nuys, I think I was just about to offer it online for the first time. And at that point, it was instant teleseminar. You guys remember instant teleseminar? So people could dial in from all over the world. So that was the first time I was doing that. And so I'm trying to send out emails to promote this course. And I'm like hand sorting through my address book. I'm like, okay, this person I should invite, this person I should invite. Oh, wait, that's my dad. This person moved back to Chicago. Oh, but that's okay because I'm doing an instant teleseminar. Yes, I should invite them. I don't remember who that person is. It was my personal address book, right? It's like all people that I knew from theater and from teaching at Sam Christensen and stuff. But my list was starting to outgrow my brain, my memory. So I was like, how come I can't like tag these people? How come I can't sort these people somehow? So I started looking, and there was a thing called Infusionsoft that did exactly that. And at the time, it was the only thing that did that. And so I bought it. It was hugely expensive. It was $5,000 to get in. I made them give me a really long payment plan. And then I learned it in a weekend because I needed it to pay for itself, the first payment, before the American Express bill came. I didn't have savings. I didn't have anything. I didn't have a nest egg. I didn't have a 401k that I could draw from. I had nothing. So I taught it to myself in a weekend because I didn't know that it was supposed to be hard. And they had a way to make a little web form on your website that said, hey, join my community, give me your name and email address, and then we'll send you emails. And the first time somebody joined my list that I didn't know who they were, I was so blown away. I was like, oh, it worked. Like somebody somehow found me and said, yes, I want to know more. It was incredible. Ooh, am I frozen? I look frozen. That's a funny face to be frozen on. Oh, please don't be frozen. Oh, spinning beach ball of death. Oh, land. Maybe I'll. How do I get out of here? Can you guys still hear me and see me? Veronica, maybe you can take over while I try and refresh this in some way that's meaningful.
We can still hear you, Sam.
Oh, you can? Okay, good. Yeah. Am I frozen though still?
You are frozen. If you need to bounce and refresh, I can kind of keep people on. Or if you want to wrap, we can do that too.
No, I want to keep going, but I've got the spinning beach ball of death here, so
yeah, you're gonna need to bounce and come back.
Yeah, yeah. So, Veronica, tell the nice people some fun things about email marketing, would you?
Right. So, yeah, a couple of things about email marketing. that I have noticed as a person who sells things on the internet. The easiest way to get people interested and to get your fan base into a routine for when you release new products is to, send them on a schedule, like on a regular schedule, and let them know that the people on the email list are going to be the first people to have access to your drop. As I do my resin figures and I have special editions that come out, there's a limited number of them. The first people that find out about that are the people on my email list. And I and a lot of other, designer toy creators will release new products on what's called a drop model, meaning like you set all of the stock all at once and release it, and then when they sell out, they sell out, rather than having sort of like ongoing stock, which if it's custom stuff, it's almost impossible to keep in stock. But the greatest thing is when you send that email and then you set a timer, like a stopwatch, to see how quickly you sell out. Like if I have a special edition of like 5 hand-painted figures and I've got an email list with 900 people on it, like how long will it take me to sell those 10 figures? That, first of all, there's math that you can do. Like there are expectations that you can set when your email list is of a certain size. And it's fun to set the stopwatch and see if you can beat that record or not. And then, you give your email list like a 3-hour head start. And if you don't sell out, then you release it to the socials. And yeah, can I use this? I don't know if I can set a new picture as one of my avatars right now, but if you guys are interested in seeing my work, it's at sharptoothsnail.com. But that, I don't want to distract you. I would really rather you guys go to the Bunny Slope and join us on this process. We've done this training a couple of times already, and we've refined it a lot and figured out what works and what doesn't, and what gets people confused in the process. So we've got a pretty tight method for getting people from 0 to a list in an afternoon. If you have if you have questions, it's one of the benefits of doing this in like a single one-day intensive. When you're live with us, if you get lost, you can kind of chime in the chat and say, wait, stop. What did you click on? Where did you go? Could you back up one more time? And that will slow us down and give you the opportunity to really walk through the process. We can give you one single method so nobody gets lost in the research vortex. Because I don't know about you guys, but sometimes when you're doing something new and you are asking the internet for help, finding the answer for what the best thing is nearly impossible, because everybody's got an opinion on what's best. And most of the time, best is whoever's got the affiliate link. So, whatever best is really whoever's got the affiliate link. So like, we're just going to give you a method, and you're going to just use this method, because this method is the one that's going to get you to done in the afternoon. Hi, Sam. Welcome back.
Hi, thanks everybody. Veronica, thanks so much for picking up the baton.
Sure.
It really pays to have incredibly brilliant people on your team, doesn't it? Yeah. Okay. So yes, it was frozen on an excited face. Well, there's that. Veronica, people have to opt into your emails, correct? You're not supposed to email people just because you have their email address. That is correct. That is correct. People have to say yes. They have to explicitly say, yes, I would like to receive emails from this person on this topic. So Wendy, the way to do that is you offer them, like I said, you can email people individually, of course. So you just email them individually and then say like, hey, friend, would you like to be on my professional email address where I'll be sharing cookie recipes or thoughts on women in media or blah, blah, blah. And then they opt in and then they're on your other list. You really want to keep your friends and family. And really, your friends and family are not going to be interested. I guarantee you. I had a client years ago who was like, my sister isn't on my email list. I'm like, who cares? She's not in your life to be your client. She's in your life to be your sister. Like, I don't think anybody in my family has read any of my books. It's okay. So yeah, no, you don't add people to your list without their explicit consent. That is a quick ticket to a spam ding, and you get enough of those and you're out of business. So Ruby says, might have missed this, but what if you have a more robust following via Instagram and text than email? Yeah, so that's great. Keep cultivating that. I'm a big fan of that, but you want to get those people onto your email list. So again, you've got a deeper connection with them. You can communicate with them individually based on where they are in your sales cycle. But you definitely, but someday Instagram's going to go down or not be as popular, or you're going to do something and get kicked off it, or the tides are going to change, or the government decides to shut it down, or an email list you own. Texting is great right now. But again, that's going to run in and out of fat a little bit too. So email, it's like old faithful, do all the other things too, but email is where it's at. And you may notice I've been at this for 700 years, full time since 2009, which in internet years is a really long time. And I have spent grand total almost nothing on Facebook ads, almost nothing on any ads anywhere. Like all I do is email. So, okay. So bunny slope, sign yourself up. If you're in lab, like Ruby is, you do not need to buy this because you're already getting it for free. If you're in the current cohort of lab, just know that you're already enrolled. But Ruby, you can repurpose what you put in Instagram and in texts into email and vice versa, right? So if you're sending out a weekly cookie recipe, you spend one day writing 4, so they go out every Tuesday. Tuesday's cookie day, and you're going to send out a recipe every Tuesday. Well, you can also have it post as a blog post every Tuesday and have it post on Instagram and have it, a little audio of you talking about it and do a LinkedIn Live. You can take the same material and use it over and over again. You can take the stuff that you're putting onto Instagram and send it out as an email, right? Or send a link to it as an email. She says, yes, exactly. I have been doing that. That's fantastic. And then again, make sure it's coming back the other way too, so that people who are just following you on Instagram aren't where you're like, come onto my email list and I'll give you something cool, right? So then again, you own the list. You want to own the list. Good. Okay, so how I succeeded. So I got Infusionsoft really early, which was crazy, but I just did it. And I had a couple hundred people on my list, maybe. And then I wrote a poem called A Prayer for the Capable. Many of you have seen it. It starts out, and as you stand there, a high fiber bar in your bag and extra pens, on time and perfectly clad for the event, let us now praise you. And it goes on to talk about, you who always returns the shopping cart, you who never throws a tantrum, let us praise you. And I swear every single person on my list wrote me back. I mean, it was this avalanche of response. And that was when I got it. I was like, oh, the point of email is not sending email. The point of email is connection, is communication. It's sending love letters back and forth. That's what the point of email is. And from then on, I just really started to focus on making sure that my emails were my voice coming from my heart, speaking to your heart. And I have people that have been on my list literally since 2009. They've never bought anything, but they open and read everything. And that is the world to me. That means the world to me. So then I started writing more poems. I was like, well, that worked, right? And then I put out a little PDF of poems, and I think I sold it for $4.95. Generally, the cadence you want to be in is give, ask, right? So free thing, something for sale, or free thing, ask for some action, please subscribe, please like, please boost, please purchase, please whatever. But give, ask is a good a good general cadence. Same thing with your social media posts. Generous, 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 ask for something. Generous, 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 ask for something. Terry says Etsy or Facebook can just shut you down with no warning or explanation. Then you don't have access to your info collected there. Exactly. Exactly. I mean, like I said, we've got this Facebook group with 3,500 people in it, but I don't know who they are. I can't contact them. I can't reach them. I've got 15,000 LinkedIn followers. I can't reach them either. I can one at a time, but not as a group. Right. So my whole thing on both of those platforms is like, join the email list, join the email list, join the email list, get on the email list. You'll get the notifications about things. Ruby says, oh, a LinkedIn Live. That's cool. And yes, that's smart to have in my posts to join a way to join my email list. I've been using Tiny Letter to rebuild, but maybe I'll switch away from Tiny Letter. I don't know Tiny Letter, but if you like it and it's working, then use that. I think it's fine. The other key thing with email, and we will absolutely talk about this during the bunny slope, is segmentation. I talked about it a little bit when we were talking about, when I was showing you this fabulous slide that I created with a Sharpie. This is segmentation, right? If they purchase this, then they go this way. If it's like choose your own adventure, right? If you decide to climb the tree, go this way. If you go down the rabbit hole, go this way. You really want to be talking to people differently based on who they are. So if they have expressed an interest in poetry, but not in yoga, then we want to know that. Do you like dogs or cats? You get the cat stuff, you get the dog stuff. Oh, you like both? You'll get both. So we want to have ways to segment the list, right? T says, during the session, I would prefer to engage with a CRM that ranks high on accessible and affordable as opposed to experiment with one that's new to you. Also is not that CRM in my opinion. Yeah, no, I'm not going to play around with MailChimp. Yeah, we'll see. I'm still playing around with it. I won't let you down. Don't worry. It's not going to be terrible. One way or the other, it's not going to be terrible. The last time I did it, Keep had just put out a new version, and so I did it with Keep's new version, and it was it wasn't that bumpy. It was kind of fun. So, and I'm interested to learn new stuff myself, and I think it's more real than. I mean, I may do a little demo ahead of time just so that I'm not completely raw to it, but I always get annoyed when people demonstrate software and they're like, look, you just click, 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 and there it is. And you're like, wait, click where? What? Hold on, what? So I sort of want to do it in real time, but we'll see. I'll figure it out. But I'll take your comments under advisement. Thank you. Thank you for caring. So you want to segment your list, right? So that we're not talking to everybody the same way about everything. We want to send, this to the Detroit people and this to the Chicago people and this to the Florida people or whatever, right? Keep it fresh. Keep it mixed up. People are always like, oh, how long should it be? How short should it be? I don't know. How much do you have to say? It should be as long or as short as you want. A CRM is a customer relationship management tool. So for those of us who are old, it's like a giant Rolodex. So in my CRM, I have every one of you, your name, your email address, every email I've ever sent you, every order you've ever made, anything you've ever bought, everything you've ever clicked on. And I can tag you different ways. And oh, they clicked on the, writing thing, but they didn't buy it. Oh, interesting. So they're interested in writing, but they weren't purchasing. Is there something else I can offer them? So it's a way to track all of your people, who's attended what. And if I wanted to make an offer just to my very best clients, to the people who like me the most and spend the most money with me, I can do that. So that's what a CRM is. It's a way to, it's an email marketing, in this context, it's an email marketing system that allows you to segment and build funnels. Tiny Letter is owned by MailChimp, so maybe I shouldn't use it anymore. Honestly, I don't know, but I'll try to look into it. We'll do a little talk through of some of the servers that you can do, but they're all flawed in some way and they all work to some degree. So that's not the most important decision, I don't think. The real thing is just to start doing it. So yeah, keep it fresh. How long should it be? As long as a piece of string, as long as it needs to be to get the job done, right? Ask for engagement. The number one thing that the ISPs, the internet service providers, who are sort of the gatekeepers of email, are looking for is engagement. So they look for opens, they look for clicks, they look for, did you forward it? Did you click on it? Did you write somebody back? Did you save it to a folder? All of that kind of behavior is going to give you a better ranking. So then more of your emails are going to get delivered more quickly. It also gets people used to clicking, right? That's why you'll sometimes see like, here's part of the article. Now click here to go read more on the blog. That gets you a click. That gets you some more engagement. It also gets you some website traffic, right? Click here to see the video. Click here to listen to the podcast. Click here to see this offer. Click here to find out more about this. Click here to comment on this Instagram post, whatever it is. Because the more engaged people are, the better your list health is. It's one of the reasons why I'm not such a big fan of newsletters, because generally speaking, newsletters, first of all, they are a pain in the ass to put together, even with templates. It's a lot of images. A lot of people are looking at their email at work where they have images disabled because they have to. So you can't really control what it looks like, or they're looking at it on their phone and then it's just a bunch of tiny pictures. So I think it's kind of a pain in the ass to design. And what I notice is that people consume newsletters like very passively. It's like reading a magazine. You're like, oh, okay, interesting. Bye. Right? Whereas again, with email, you have an opportunity to really be speaking one-to-one. Here's something I want to be telling you. Now you tell me something. Write me back. Ask me a question. Vote on this. Comment on this. Like this. Listen to this, right? So if you have an opportunity for that kind of intimacy and that kind of engagement, why wouldn't you take it, right? Why would you put up something? Now, if I were a one-person thing and I wanted to look like I was a big financial agency or something, then I might do a newsletter. I might do something that looks a little more corporate and a little more like, no, I'm definitely a big deal. But most of you are highly creative people doing highly creative things, and the people you're attracting are also going to be highly creative. So lean into that. Lean into your creativity. Lean into your weird. Lean into that which no one else can do but you, right? And you can be raunchy, or you can be quiet and reserved. You can be polite. You can be gossipy. I mean, email is such a flexible form of writing. It's somewhere in between a love letter and a note that you might pass in class, and it can be like a report. It can be formal. There's so much opportunity for creativity there. I really want to invite you into that in Bunny Slope. Okay. And the last thing I'll say about email is really use the white space. You know how it is. You get an email that's a big block of text or a couple of big blocks of text, and you're like, oh God, I'll look at it later, right? Use the one sentence paragraphs are your friend, give it some space to breathe. Because remember, at first, they're just looking at it. They're not reading it, they're just looking at it. But if they look at it and they see some words that they like, or they see some languaging that they like, or they see some images that they like, then they are likely to start reading it, right? Deb says in MailChimp, you can do pretty good landing pages easily, so that isn't bad as a starting point. Yes, all the CRMs have a landing page builder that should work pretty well. So a landing page is that place where people go to put in their name and email address and get the freebie, right? Awesome. So yeah, who's in for Bunny Slope? Join me, won't you? therealsambennett.com/Bunny Slope. Again, those of you who are in the cohort 7 of Get It Done Lab, the current Get It Done Lab cohort, you do not have to pay to join because you are already in as a bonus for being in lab this time. But the rest of you, this is the most practical, most usable, and I hope most time efficient way to get your email list up and running and working. If you have one, to make it working better. If you don't have one, to get it working at all, then I know of. And you can tell yourself that you will do it yourself, and I guarantee you won't. If you haven't by now, then you're not going to. Because you'll have questions. So it's better to do it like in person with me, and then you can say like, hey, how do I do this, right? Carla says, I'll be joining. Yay! Will the Bunny Slope cover shifting CRM lists? I don't know what I would say about that, except don't do it if you can possibly avoid it. And if you have to do it, I would pay to have somebody do it for me, honestly, because it's kind of a pain in the ass and you will definitely lose people from the list. But if it's time to do that and you're ready, then go ahead. So that's pretty much what I would say about it. If you come to Bunny Slope, we can get into it a little bit more, although I'm not sure what else I would say. I don't know, Veronica, do you have any thoughts on switching CRMs? You said I would only do it if you really have to.
Yeah, I'm of the opinion that if you already, I never want you guys to tear apart a system that you already have. I would like you to learn the concepts and continue what you're doing than to, every time you learn a new thing to tear apart your system and start from zero is not going to get you further to your goal. However, if you do feel like switching, the process is not difficult if you have some easy instructions to follow. If you know how to export a file and import a file, it's not that hard. So maybe, I don't know, Sam, do we want to bonus that in? Like how to export a CSV, how to import a CSV?
I mean, if people need it, I'm not against that. Okay. So we see if anybody other than Joelle has that question, or Joelle, we can just, take a minute. But honestly, it's a Googleable thing. I really want to spend time on questions that are not Googleable, questions that really only I can answer for you, or that questions only you would be asking. But how to export and import a CSV file is pretty Googleable. But we can definitely, like I said, we can definitely look at some of the CRMs. That I think we should put in, Veronica, as a bonus, is looking at some little compare and contrast with some of the popular CRMs and why a person might choose this one over that one. Yeah, cool. Good. Any other questions? Thank you all so much for bearing with me, especially during our technical difficulties, both before and during. Yay. I might do this again. I might do this webinar again this week so we have a nice clean recording. I do have several CSV files, right? So you want to upload them all into one place, and you may need to have people re-opt in, say, hey, I've switched CRMs. This is a new thing. And I'd love to reward you for doing that by giving you this freebie. Please click here. And you can have the click for the freebie be the double opt-in click, right? That's the kind of high-level wizardry we will be discussing on Bunny Slope. If you don't understand what I just said, then you definitely want to sign up for Bunny Slope so I can explain it to you. Joelle says, great, I'm in. Yay! I'm so glad, Joelle. That's best news ever. Good. Anything else anybody wants to say or share? Ruby, you're talking about a LinkedIn Live. So I'm on StreamYard right now, which is broadcasting live to you guys within the StreamYard, but also to Facebook, to my other Facebook page, to LinkedIn, and to YouTube Live. So it's a great way to do something once and have it available in multiple platforms. And you really want to be emailing your people once a week. Any email list that's been sitting around for more than 3 months, 6 months, if you haven't reached out to your list in 6 months, a marketer would consider that a dead list. And you're going to get, and if you start, so you can start emailing them again, but you need to do it in small batches and kind of warm them back up. StreamYard. Yeah, StreamYard. They've got a very cute duck. I might even have an affiliate link for that. Let me see. StreamYard affiliate. I think. Because, I make pennies off those affiliate links. I don't see anything. Okay, yeah, it's just StreamYard. StreamYard.com. But so far, I'm really liking it. Good. Any other questions? Anything else anybody's wondering about? Anything that you're feeling uncertain? I want you to really decide about Bunny Slope right now. Either be like, yep, I'm in, and go ahead and buy it, right? therealsambennett.com/Bunny Slope, BUNNYSLOPE. It does post to Instagram and Instagram Live. There's a stream key you need to put on. It's a little bit of doing, so I don't usually mess with it. But yes, you can absolutely also stream to Instagram. And apparently they're talking to TikTok, because again, Facebook is going to shut down third-party stream. So I'm not going to be able to broadcast to Facebook. I would have to use Facebook's own system, whatever it is. I don't think they've announced it yet. And if they're going to shut that down for Facebook, they might shut that down for Instagram as well, because it's the same company. But it hasn't happened yet, so hang in there. But right now, yes, you can stream to Instagram from here. But I hear they're going to start streaming to TikTok too, which would be great. Good. Yes, April 13th, exactly. And it's going to be most of the day, but we'll work for 90 minutes and then we'll take a break, and then we'll work for 90 minutes, and then we'll take a break, and then we'll work for 90 minutes. So yes, super glad that you all are joining. Joelle, Carla, great. Yeah, Ruby says, I don't use Facebook really. I'd rather be on TikTok and IG and YouTube for sure. But if you're doing the one, you might as well do the other. And there's a lot of people on Facebook. So, but you know your crowd, your audience. And again, you want systems, right? So it's going to multiple, you do it once and it goes to multiple places, right? You want your most efficient use of your time. So make a decision about Bunny Slope now. If you're like, nope, that's not for me, I'm not interested, fine. I love a good no. If you're feeling like oh yeah, then make it a yes. Make it work. Make it yes. Jump in. For those who have businesses, it's probably a tax write-off. Consult your local tax professional. I am not a tax professional. This is not tax advice. Mahalia says, totally interested, need to gather the funds. I totally get that. Yeah, so the order, keep the order page open on your browser so you don't forget about it. But yeah, start grabbing those pennies, and if nothing else, send an email out to your list. Offer people something. Say, hey, I'll do my consulting fees are usually $250 an hour, but I've got a special rate right now for $150. And then you get 3 or 4 people in, and you paid for the thing, right? So. Prove to yourself that it works, prove to yourself that it works. Or, if you're a coach, like, oh, I'll offer you, 6 months of coaching twice a month for $5,000. Boom. Right. Say 24-hour sale, flash sale, and see if anybody jumps. And again, if they don't, great. Now, that offer didn't land. Try something else. Right. Good. All right, everybody. Well, thank you so much for being here. Thank you again for your patience. Thank you for your excitement. I get really excited about email. I know it's sort of dorky, but I've won awards for my email. I've won awards for my email marketing. I'm a legend in some small circles. Some of the best marketers in the world subscribe to my email list, and they always tell me, they're like, I unsubscribe from everything, Sam, except never from you. I'm like, good. That makes me pleased. So I think I can promise you some solid information, and you will definitely move from A to B to C to D during Bunny Slope, right? So we will create your freebie. We'll figure out one that's really compelling to your people, show you how to set it up, how to create it, literally create the actual thing, and we might use some AI, and we'll definitely use Canva to do that. And then how to create the opt-in form, and then how to create the follow-up emails that again get you some profit. So, I want this course to pay for itself 3 to 10 times over, preferably in the next week, from the first week of you doing it. So great. All right, everybody, let's do one more breath to close out this circle. Carla, I'm so glad to welcome you to the group. Everybody else who's in, thank you, thank you. And if you're not in, thank you for spending this time with me. I'm so glad to know you. And if you're not on my email list, for crying out loud, go over to therealsambennett.com and get on the email list. Let's inhale, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Thanks, everybody. Thanks for doing this with me. Veronica, thank you so much for being the superstar that you are. Mwah. Talk soon. Bye.